Hi. Why are the birds so loud today? Hello friends, welcome to another video where it's 84 degrees in my apartment and I had to turn the fans off for this, so you're welcome, and also sorry if I get sweaty. Don't you dare bite that. Hey, there's something wrong with my tongue and it hurts really bad the past couple days. I don't know why. Alright, I'm gonna get right into this video because I have a lot. Knowing me, it's probably too much for one video. A couple weeks ago, I did a video where I read all of the weird thoughts, questions, stupid experiences, realizations, whatever, that I had written down on my notepad. I figured I would probably do these like maybe once a month, if that. But after a week, I had so many things on my notepad. This one's gonna be a little different in the sense that most of these are things that I thought when I was younger, and mostly because they were told to me by my dad or my sisters, and I just believed them. And then I got older, like to be in my teens, and I learned I'm an idiot. And you never learn when you're just like alone in the comfort of your own home, you know? You stumble across something and you're like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, I always thought that this was like that, but no. You know, it's always like you're talking to someone and then you say the fact that you think is a fact, but it's totally not, and they're like, are you okay? If that didn't make sense, it'll make sense in a second. Oh. You know, at what point, though, can I not call myself little? Because some of these I didn't realize till I was like 17. Okay, the first thing that I have, so you know the phrase, suit yourself? When someone's like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna go do it anyway. And then you're like, suit yourself. I didn't know, okay? I want to say I was probably 15 when I found this out. I thought when someone said, suit yourself, they were saying, sue it yourself. Sue it yourself. What the fuck does that mean? I don't really know. I guess I just didn't really know what they were saying, and so in my mind I created sue it yourself. I didn't really get it, but I also was like, it's probably like a legal thing. Like, no, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Sue it yourself. Like, you're gonna get sued. Look, I don't know what I thought, but it's one of those things that I just didn't know. I found this out, I was probably 14 or 15, and my best friend was over, and we were like, went upstairs into my sister's room and we were hanging out. Somehow it came up and I said, sue it yourself to my sister, and they both looked at me and they were like, I'm sorry, what? Sue it yourself? It's suit yourself? I was like, wait, how did I not know this? But like, it's a good thing I learned then and not later, you know? Moving on. When I was younger, I was probably pretty little, like 5 or 6. My older sister, Katie, who is 6 years older than me, so you know, she's 11 or 12 at the time. I was talking to her about how I needed to go to the bathroom at school, but I didn't really like using the school bathroom. I would use them to pee, but like I never would want to go poop in a school bathroom, but I don't think I ever really had to. I would just poop at home and then go to school, you know what I mean? It's so weird to think about me like at 5 years old having a conversation with my sister. Anyway, I was telling her like I really had to poop at school, but I didn't want to go at school, so I was waiting until I got home. She's like, why don't you want to do it at school? And I'm like, well, I don't know, like there's only like 2 stalls in the bathroom and it's just kind of weird. I don't know, what does a 5-year-old say? She's like, well, yeah, they don't make bathrooms for people to poop in. They're made for people to just pee in. What do you mean they're just for someone to pee in? Like, what if someone has to poop? And she tells me, you're the only one that poops. What do you mean I'm the only one that poops? People don't poop. It's just you. And I was so upset. I definitely was crying. I don't necessarily remember as much as my mom and my sisters and my dad remember, and they've told me about it many times, but I was very upset and I was crying and I was like so scared. When my dad asked me what was wrong, he kind of went along with it. He was like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, but he didn't say like, she's lying to you, like everyone poops. But luckily my mom, my sweet mom, she wasn't gonna tell her daughter that nobody poops but you. So she told me. Luckily, this is probably the only one on the list that I quickly learned was not true. It didn't take me like several years. Although I will say, probably when I was about 14 or 15 again, that same best friend from the sue it yourself, I was over at her house. I don't even know how it came up, but she said, nobody poops but you. And for a minute I was like, oh my god, no, not this again. And I guess that's like a quote from, was it Family Guy? Or like, I think it was Family Guy. That cup just moved on its own. So she said, nobody poops but you to me, and I was like, no, literally, my sister told me that when I was little and I actually thought it. Could you imagine if really you were the only one that... Gosh. So when I was younger, probably elementary school, whenever my dad would come home from work at night and he would ask me how my day was, and I'd be like, good. I mean, when I was younger, I was a lot more like,
and then I did this and that and this, and then I drew on this paper, and then I kissed this boy.
Then I would get older and I'd be like, it was good. So he would ask me, once I got to the point where I was like, good, fine. He would go, how was your day? I would go, it was good. He'd go, did you get in any gunfights? And I'd go, no. And he'd go, did you get in any knife fights? And I'd go, no. And he did that like every day, just because he was kind of like mocking how unenthused I was to tell him about my day. And it just became so routine. And then one day I remember him saying, did you get held at gunpoint? Like I said, he usually would say, did you get in any did you get in any gunfights is such a weird thing to say. Like, what? Even did you get in any knife fights is a weird thing to say. But this day he was like, did you get held at gunpoint? And I'm like, no. And he's like, did you get held at knife point? No. And for whatever reason, to me, I was like, gunpoint, knife point. I didn't assume that it like meant the same thing or a similar thing, obviously. I mean, I guess the difference would be a gunfight is probably two people with guns, and being held at gunpoint is probably just one person, but I digress. But I just immediately thought that gunpoint and knife point were like actual locations. So I always would tell myself, like, I'm never gonna go to gunpoint, I'm never gonna go to knife point, I'm always gonna stay away from those places, like I'm never going there. Who would want to go there? So yeah, you know, Gunpoint, Alabama, I'm never going there. Knife Point, Nevada, nope. When did I learn that that was not true? I honestly don't remember a defining moment, but yesterday. Welcome back to I'm about to start crying. Okay, the next one on my list, the Disney Channel logo. So when you're watching the Disney Channel and there's the little logo in the corner. When I was little, and this had to have been, I mean, I know for a fact I wasn't stupid, like I learned how to read when I was 2, so I feel like this had to have been when I was little. The Disney is written in like cursive, kind of. You know, it's not cursive, it's just like a very like flowy, loop-de-loopy font, but I would watch the Disney Channel and see the little logo in the corner. I mean, looking at it now, I'm like, I don't see it, I don't get it. But I thought that the D, the cursive or the loop-de whatever kind of font, the D was a G, which I actually think this is like a common thing, but the D looked to me like a cursive G. I'm looking at this photo right here and it has like sort of the evolution of all the logos. So this is 97. I remember this one. This is the one I remember the most, and it says United States 1999. I remember this one the absolute most. In my mind, it still looks like that. Also the 2002 one. The Y at the end of Disney looked, and still honestly looks, like a P. Even though I knew I was watching the Disney Channel, in my mind when I would look at that logo, I would always think Giznep.
Hey, I'm Hilary Duff from Lizzie McGuire, and you're watching
Giznep
Channel.
But I knew it was Disney Channel, you know what I mean? And I remember asking my sister, not the same sister, but the one just above me, Amanda, 4 years older than me. She was the sister that picked on me the most. We're watching Disney Channel and I'm like, why does the D in Disney Channel, why does it look like a cursive G? Why does the Y on Disney look like a P? Like, I don't get it. And I'm young, like I'm probably like 5. She basically tells me that like I don't see a G in place of the D, but the last letter of Disney, obviously it's a Y, but it looked like a P. She says that it looks like a P because it is a P. And I'm like, but that spells Disnep. And she's like, no, it's just one of those words where it's spelled differently than it sounds. It's sort of like a silent letter, but like it's just different, like it might be a different language or something. And I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh, see, I must have been 5 because it was the first day of first grade soon after this discussion. I'm a very young child, okay? I was 4 in kindergarten. First day of first grade, we get these papers and it has like 4 questions on it. And it was basically like, how old are you? What's your favorite color? Like, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite thing to watch on TV? Most kids were like drawing things and like the teacher was having to say like a lot of kids couldn't read yet in first grade, I feel. But me, like I said, not to fucking toot my own horn, but toot, not to freaking suck my own dick, but I'll never do that again. I was reading by the time I was 2. We're all coloring and I'm with my friends and I'm coloring things. And for what do you like to watch on TV, I drew like the Mickey Mouse head logo. Instead of like trying to recreate the cursive that is Disney, I just write Disney Channel in the little mouse head. And so it's my turn to go in front of the class. I'm like, I'm Annie. My favorite color is baby blue and hot pink. I'm 5. My favorite animal is a zebra. I don't know why I'm talking like I was like a little like timid. No, I was probably like screaming with my high-pitched voice. You know where this is going. I say my favorite thing to watch on TV is Disney Channel. I wrote Disnep, and my teacher, being the woman that she was dope. Every time I got a teacher, I was pretty much screwed because they already had all of my sisters before me. One of my high school teachers even had my dad in high school, so let that sink in. She knew that I was really smart. she knew that I could read and write and all that stuff. So luckily, I mean, she didn't do this in front of the whole class, but you know, later that day, maybe at the end of the day or something, she calls me over and she's like, this P should be a Y, did you know that? And I'm like, no, it's, the P is like silent, and it's spelled like Disney, but it's Disney. And I'm like explaining this to her, like, yes, first grade teacher, it's my first day of first grade and I'm telling you how to spell things. Yeah, I'm explaining that to her and I'm like, no, it's actually spelled with a P, and it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's pronounced Disney, but it looks like Disney. And, you know, I'm saying that in my 5-year-old dialect. And I ended up telling her, well, my sister Amanda told me that blah, 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 blah. She, being the woman that she was, and already having my sister Amanda 4 years prior, and knowing that my sister Amanda is a little shit, not a little shit, she was really smart too, but like knowing that she would tease me, make fun of me, blah, 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 she kind of laughed at that situation. So that day, my mom picked me up from school and I got in the car and tattled on my sister. I just took so long explaining that one. I'm sorry. Again, when I was young, probably 6 or 7, I was with my dad and we were driving to my dance recital. The reason I say that is because I'm trying to think like, what costume was I wearing so that I know how old I was. I was absolutely wearing my Little Mermaid blue tutu. So I was 6. I feel like when you're little and you drive somewhere that you don't drive like all the time, you go to school every day, we go to church every Sunday, the store, like even though you don't know exactly how to get there because you're little, like it's familiar. But when you drive anywhere other than that, it's just like, so where am I, you know? Even if it's like one city over, which is the case for this story. And so we drive by a sign that says, it's the pedestrian crossing sign, and it says ped Xing. Y'all know what it looks like. And I'm like, Dad, what's ped Xing? So my camera died right then, and I think I kept talking for like a couple more sentences because I don't even have the footage of me saying that my dad told me that Ped Jing was an emperor in China. And so I'm like, well, why would there be a sign that just randomly has the name of a Chinese emperor, you know? Okay, and then I got a new battery and okay. It's because we just drove into China, like we just crossed the border. And of course I believe him, okay? Why else would there be a sign that says Ped Jing, okay? Nothing really happens for a while until the next time I see a Ped Jing sign, which happens to be at school with my entire class and also the other first grade class. And we're all walking, and I think we had to walk like in twos. We would walk to this gym, like a gymnastics gym. We're on our walk to the gym. Oh my god, I just remembered something else crazy that happened while I was walking to the gym. Oh, I need to ask my mom if she remembers this. Not important to this story. We passed a sign that says Ped Jing, and I pointed out to my friend who I'm walking next to, my little walking buddy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just crossed the border to China. That's so weird. Like, I'm pretty sure I live right over there. And I'm thinking, well, like maybe it's because we're getting close. And also, like, I knew that we lived nowhere near China, so don't really know why I believed that so readily. I wonder if we're in China or if we're just approaching China or whatever. And the girl that I'm walking next to is probably like not as woke as I'm just kidding. She was on my same level because she believed me, because I'm like, yeah, no, that's an emperor in China, Ped Jing. And to be honest, that's where that story ends. There was no moment of like, you're an idiot, it's pedestrian crossing. No, I probably learned a couple years later, not a Chinese emperor. We're not in China. Okay, hi! We're gonna finish this video later because, do you hear how noisy it is? Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'll be back, but not wearing this and not looking like this. Also, do I look like a freaking, I feel like there's a cartoon character. Is there not a cartoon character that wears this or something like this? Like a collared, striped 70s looking shirt, red shorts like this, red dolphin shorts. I feel like there is. I feel like it's a dude. Who do I look like? There's absolutely someone that wears this outfit. Or when she would make me sniff her armpits and she told me she would give me a shocker. Oh shit, fuck, that sounded so bad. Oh, does anyone remember Shock Tarts? They're like those sour, like sweet tarts. So as I'm editing this, and I just listened to myself say Shock Tarts and Shockers, I remember them as Shock Tarts. Then I was like, whoa, wait, why did they change the name to Shocker? Because I remember when that happened. And I tried to look it up and I like couldn't find anything for a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this like a Mandela effect thing? Yeah, I don't know. I just got way too deep into looking up like what happened with Shock Tarts and why'd they rename them. And it's basically just because of like Wonka, and then like they discontinued, and then like, I don't know, now they're just sour sweet tarts or something. I don't fucking know. I remember them as Shock Tarts, okay? They were like my favorite candy. I love the blue ones. Okay,